Mr. Speaker.
Order. Questions for oral answer. Mr. Ang Wei Neng. Yes, Mr. Liu. Mr. Leong.
Speaker, sir, can I know the reasons why the 8 questions on our sovereign fund was put almost towards the end of the question queue today, which means that it won't be answered orally today, probably?
Mr. Leong, I believe the leader has spoken to the leader of opposition. MPs have filed questions about the FTX situation. Some are for oral answer today, while others are up for oral answer tomorrow. I've discussed this with the leader of the House, and given the volume of business for this sitting, we'll be sitting until Wednesday, 30th November. I think it's best that all the FTX questions be answered holistically by the government on Wednesday. This will allow other PQs to be cleared, and I will allocate sufficient time on Wednesday for the FTX PQs and SPQs to be answered fully. So I suggest that members who do not receive an oral answer to the FTX questions today or tomorrow postpone their questions to Wednesday.
Thank you, Speaker.
Mr. Chan.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the Civil Service periodically reviews salaries and adjusts them where necessary to keep pace with but not lead the market. The recent salary adjustments for various groups of civil servants were determined based on salary gaps with market benchmarks. Beyond these adjustments, eligible officers also receive annual variable component or AVC payments and annual salary increments that take into consideration their performance, prevailing economic and labour market conditions, and the National Wages Council's recommendations on progressive wage growth. In total, the salary increases arising from the recent salary reviews and annual salary increments, coupled with annual AVC payments, will more than exceed the inflation rate since this year for all the civil servants who meet the criteria. The government has also rolled out a series of support measures this year, such as the recently announced cost of living special payment and additional CDC vouchers. These support measures together will help cushion the impact of sharp inflation changes and provide further relief for Singaporean households with more support for the lower to middle income groups.
Sang.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Minister, for comprehensive reply. Can I just clarify one point? You're saying that with the recent adjustments in the civil servant pay, every civil servant will get at least more than 5.1% of the salary increment because the core inflation rate in October is 5.1%. At the same time, we noticed also that there's a report in the Straits Times to say that about 68% of the employees will think of changing job if their pay is not increased more than the inflation rate. And the second supplementary question is that if that is so, that government is giving the increment more than 5.1% or an inflation rate, would you encourage the rest of the Singapore company to do the same as far as possible? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, to answer to the first SQ, as I have said, is that the salary increases arising from the recent salary reviews plus annual salary increments plus the annual AVC payments will more than exceed the inflation rate since this year for all the civil servants who meet the criteria. There might be a very, very small number of people who don't meet the performance criteria and they might be short of that 5% that you mentioned. But that is a very, very small number of people who don't meet the performance criteria. But on top of that, the government has all these other packages for all the Singaporean households, which we think will be able to meet the requirement to help those who are most in need. On the second supplementary questions, I think MOM together with the NWC has also laid out its own recommendations for the rest of the economy to do what we can and especially do more, if possible, for those households and individuals who need more help.